Americans have plenty of experience with buying and selling our things. For example, we purchase automobiles, artwork, and investments. Later, we can opt to sell these things, often for a profit. Homes, generally our biggest purchase, we sell all the time. The real estate market is a part of American life. We view our houses as an asset because there is a large and successful market for their resale. Like artwork, stocks, and businesses, we can convert our homes to cash. Cash that can be used for educating our kids, funding our retirement, or purchasing a second home. But there is something else, like home ownership, that is equally widespread. Something else that millions of Americans own, but have never viewed as a saleable asset. An asset that can be sold for cash. Why? Because primarily for decades there has been no secondary market. It seems as though the principles of capitalism, which have been applied to virtually every other asset we own, have not been applied here. Now that's changed. And with this change comes the opportunity for millions of people to consider if it may be prudent to retain ownership or to sell, perhaps for a handsome profit. This asset that is so widely owned but so seldom sold is life insurance. And in recent years, a worldwide marketplace has emerged that allows individuals to sell their life insurance policies for cash. This presentation will examine some of the reasons you might consider selling your life insurance policy and explain how the secondary marketplace for purchase of life insurance policy works. It's information you need to know because life insurance is no longer a second-class citizen when it comes to being treated like other financial assets. For the first time, Americans have an important new option to consider, one that can make a huge emotional and financial impact on our lives. Over the past decade, a large and growing market has developed for the purchase of life insurance policies. Investors, including a growing number of institutional funders with sophisticated capital, have realized they can enjoy profit from purchasing life insurance policies from individuals who may no longer need them and naming themselves as beneficiaries of these policies. At its heart, a life insurance policy is a legal contract between an individual and an insurance company. The insurance company guarantees to make a payment at the insured's death in return for premiums that are paid each year. As long as the premiums are paid, the insurance company will pay at the death of the insured. People purchase life insurance for many different reasons. One of the biggest reasons is to protect family members. If the breadwinner of the family dies prematurely, for instance, the money from the insurance proceeds can be thought of as a replacement for the breadwinner's lost income. Life insurance proceeds may allow a family to maintain its standard of living, retain its home, educate its kids, and in other words, make it possible to provide financial security that otherwise would not be possible. It is also commonly used in both business and estate planning, where it can ensure the death of a key employee or provide the funds to pay estate taxes. Life insurance has become so popular and so widely owned because it's inexpensive to acquire and because its benefits are so important. People buy life insurance for good reasons, but over time, circumstances change. Kids grow up and start their own lives, businesses are sold, loans are paid off, tax laws change. People get divorced, sometimes a spouse dies. Sometimes people encounter financial difficulties, and the premiums that were once affordable become a burden. You see, there are a whole set of reasons people may no longer need their life insurance policies, but traditionally the one option has been to let the policy lapse, or with some policies, give up the coverage for a return of the policy's cash value. But that is changing, and now you may be able to sell your life insurance policy for cash in the secondary marketplace. To illustrate how this might work, we'll look at an example. Chester is a 70-year-old who owns a $350,000 life insurance policy. Like everyone else who purchases life insurance, Chester had a good reason for taking out his policy. In his case, he wanted to be able to supply a source of cash for his business if he were to die prematurely. This very popular type of life insurance is known as key man insurance. But look at what happened. Chester didn't die prematurely. In fact, he retired and his business has been taken over by his children. Chester now looks at his life insurance policy in a different light. It is now a financial burden and is taking up money he would rather spend enjoying his life. Chester could give back his policy to the insurance company for the cash value of $35,000, or he could choose to pay no more premiums and let the policy lapse. Lastly, he could do something. He could seize upon an option to sell his policy in the secondary marketplace. Well, that's precisely what he did. LifeGuardian explained that he could receive a no-cost, non-binding appraisal in the secondary marketplace. LifeGuardian also explained that the secondary market for life insurance was growing rapidly and more people were benefiting from being able to sell their policy for cash. Seeing no harm in learning about his options, Chester agreed to get the free appraisal. To begin the process, Chester completed a simple form and signed to authorize that his medical records be evaluated by the potential purchasers of his policy. He also authorized the release of the information on the status of his life insurance policy. This is critical information because the potential purchasers must evaluate Chester's life expectancy and the cost of keeping Chester's life insurance policy in force. Based on the amount of money it will cost for the investor to keep the policy in force and how long will determine the amount of money he will be offered. Importantly, having several investors make offers on the policy will result in a higher amount. After about 6 weeks, LifeGuardian contacted Chester and explained to Chester that after receiving his health status and after reviewing his policy, several potential offers were made for large cash payout. The best of these was for $110,000. That was a difference of $75,000 from the cash value. Chester gained so much because he was able to sell his policy in the same manner he is able to sell his home, or his stocks, or any other asset. The secondary marketplace for insurance policies was able to provide Chester with an option of which he decided to avail himself. Now he has $110,000 to make his life more enjoyable. If you own a life insurance policy of virtually any type that you are certain you no longer need, you may benefit by having a no-cost, non-obligation evaluation of your policy. In fact, more people are beginning to realize that their life insurance policy can provide a significant source of cash while they're still around to enjoy it. It may be that circumstances related to your health or finances have changed since you purchased your life policy. If so, you may be able to enjoy a cash settlement that is dramatically larger than you would receive otherwise. Determining what your policy may be worth in the secondary marketplace is easy and starts with a process that takes just a few minutes of your time. It may be the most profitable few minutes that you have ever spent.